Right, hello everyone. I have a super happy treat, at least for myself today, which is the first prototype of my new 112 pancar, which is based on the trike chassis. So here I have it mounted with the forward cab body from BD Design, Speed Mine tires, and Team Saxo rear axle. There's gonna be a few minor changes later on. That's just the first time putting it together, fitting everything. And so let me show you what is up with this chassis. So my goal is to make, like for the trike, a super simple chassis when there is the least amount of setting to do and just focus on driving the car, having fun racing it, having something that performs well. Of course, it's not those are not for just for the look of it. And so I've carried a couple of things from the trike, and then there is a few things that I've carried from other designs that I've tried before, which I think are really good and make this car really unique. So let's start from the back and then we'll move to the front. So the back end, it's the same as the back end from the trike. The difference is I've increased the flex cuts that I have here compared to the trike before. So the rear is going to be softer and there's going to be more movement allowed. Same as before, you get the possibility to add a dampening tube between the pod and the front. But so that means that the entire rear end all the way through the front is one piece chassis. There is no links on the side, there is no pivots, there is no V-link, and that's really cool. That's super simple. It works well as a suspension. On the trike I use it without the dampening tube. I've tried with the dampening tube. Really depends on what you're racing it on, and depends on the general setup of the car as well, where is the weight. And so that's the next part. That's, I think, one of the coolest parts in these cars. So when you move to the battery tray, you'll notice, let me bring this closer, you will see that there are a few grooves along the graphite plate. And so at the moment I have a super shorty pack inside and it is this direction. However, there are other parts that I don't have right now printed out, but you can see the different holes that are prepared in the chassis, and so you can add different sections that allows you to have the shorty pack align in this direction, align along the chassis, or a shorty lipo in this direction, or in the length of the chassis. And of course, this is a 2S. You can use 1S. I don't have any 1S system, so I'm putting a 2S system on it at the moment. But of course, it's compatible with the 1S. You can see it's not tall at all, and I got those Velcro straps that will be able to be fitted to all of the different positions. And so this way you can really play with it. And then with the holes that are available, there's going to be some stiffening graphite parts that will be possible to put to make the chassis more or less stiff in the areas that are not fitted with the battery. And so then you get a big space. Right now the electronic, I have a lot of space because of the way I set up the battery. I set up this way at the moment just because that's how it is set up on the trike, so I know how it behaves this way, and I'm using the super shorty on the trike as well. So I want to start with what I know, and then we'll do the different testing with the different positions, see what's the difference in weight distribution. And then moving to the front, like I showed yesterday, you can see that the front end is actually on another plate. So you get the full pan and then you get the front end here. and so it's carrying the C-hubs from the trike with the mirrored C-hub on the other side. I'll show you because those are the quick release C-hubs, and so you can see that they are mounted on pivot, and so that allows the front end to sway left and right, and on top of that it has the regular springs that you would find in the front end of a 112 or an F1. The servo can be mounted either way, and then there is space for a weight to adjust the balance left and right. And so you can adjust, you can have zero pivot at all. You can squish it down all the way down. You can angle it back and forth depending on how many O-rings you want to put in the front or the back. And you can have it very loose, you can have it very stiff. Of course, same with the spring. And the other thing that allows as well is that you see right now I put the body post on the swaying front end. So that means the front of the body is going to be moving along with the front end. You can mount the body post, of course, on any of the slots that I have here, because 1, 2, 3 positions plus one in the middle on the little bumper plates. So the body can be mounted traditionally on the chassis, but I like this system, which is a system that I found out using the WRC GT Dew, which is a 1.8 classic chassis, and the front end is like that. There is no suspension at all. The front end can sway left and right. It's mounted on 2 pivots, and the body is mounted on the swaying parts. And so it's cool because the body flexes when the car turns. You have a lot less rubbing of the tires on the inside of the body. And let me show you quickly, I'll pause for a second, I'm going to show you the quick release. Knuckles are from Team Saxo. Okay, so here you go. You see the pin that I have is flat pin on the side, and it carries a mini pin here, and so you can just remove it and the pin will drop out, and you can change the spring to a different set of springs super quickly and just pop the pin back in, put the wheel back on, lose your bearing, find your bearing, and you're back on the road. So that way, that's what I call the quick release. It's a super fast system, and it's cool when you, especially when you want to tune your car. When you go to the track, you don't need screwdrivers and such for the. You can just bring your springs to the side of the track. And so I think that's about it for now. There is going to be, at the moment you see the 3D printed parts. I have the C-hubs, which are super durable. I have them on the track. They're really good, so I carry them on. There is no reason for me to do them in any other material. They're light, they're durable, they're cheap to print. The servo mounts, once again, the servo is reversible. You get it's symmetrical all across this piece, so you can put it either way, left or right. I do believe actually the 112 servo could be double-sided taped like in the old cars as well, with no problem. I have those battery mounts that are 3D printed, but I'm waiting on some threaded tubes to do some testing as well, and so that will mean there would be basically no more 3D printed part in the center, and they're all going to be the poles and more graphite parts to do the battery holding. And then the rear of the pod that has the mount for the dampening tube, that's 3D printed, same, carried over from the trike. You can see FT Formula trike, and they've been true and tested. They work really well, so no reason to change to something else. And so here you go. This is the new prototype of the 112 chassis with a swaying front end, super simple car. And well, I'm stuck at home, so I'm gonna keep working on that project, and hopefully by the time life goes back to normal, I'll have that available for whoever wants to try it out. Alright, so stay safe, and I'll see you back again soon. Bye bye.